Oh, how we were so wrong. And make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more on us. So I want to talk about what we've been seeing recently here with the meta, because you guys remember it was all yummy, and then it was Vanquishal, Paradise Smashers, insanely broken dog, and then Dragon Tail woke up. Now, this has been quite a spectacle to watch. As I just recently saw out of last weekend, there were several regionals where a lot of Dragon Tail was just snapping through, stealing games out here. And then we come down to another event, actually next play yesterday in Japan, where we just saw Draco Tail smashing through their event. So it's kind of a simultaneous thing that's been happening here. The OCG starting to realize, oh hey, Dragon Tail being able to set all of these toolbox options is really good, but also Althinion getting the chance to bounce back all of these problematic cards in one big giant swing on the base floor is really good. We're also in a format right now where Imperm doesn't really exist. You don't really see Veiler's dead to the world. And also, Ghost Spell's been picking up a lot of traction, but I mean, what's Ghost Spell going to do for you when you're on Chainlink 1, 2, 3, 4? 4? I mean, and Althinion's down here on the base level, waving at the opponent, showcasing that, why this is crazy. Now, why do I say that we were all wrong? It's because everybody straight up said at this point in time that, Dragon Tail felt like it was a terrible deck. Everybody kind of acknowledged that it would be a deck that people would pick up, but most people tossed it into the rogue category and just said it's going to go die over there. It'll show up every once in a while, but it's, kind of crazy. We're heading into a YCS this weekend out here, where we don't know what's going to happen. This is going to be the first, real data that the TCG is going to be able to pull from on the giant scale things. But in terms of regionals over the last couple weekends, Dragon Tail has just been, it's waking up. It's become a real competitor out here in the course of the current meta, and I got to clap for it. In terms as to why this deck is really kind of turning heads right now, nobody is respecting the forms of interruption that this deck is, getting. A spell and trap interruption and an attack mode monster interruption are extremely powerful tools. And everybody's been really pushing the yummy agenda right now. Actually, it's really funny because in the systematic part of the way that the triangle is now, we kind of shifted into a triangle format. It's yummy, Vanquishal, and that Vanquishal, I'm not going to say is really falling off right now, but it's becoming very apparent to me that less people are excited to play Vanquishal, and the deck is kind of shifting a little bit into the background. It's definitely still second best deck, but you got more people that are choosing to play things like Malice. Mitsurugi's kind of getting a chance to kind of enter back into the arena here, and because of that, you're starting to see, these decks are kind of pushing around in different sectors of the triangles where, we see, Dragon Tail getting that chance to wake up. Because Dragon Tail, against everything else that really isn't the top two decks, it's got a really good matchup. And this also, that's another interesting thing about this meta too, is everybody was so gung-ho on playing Yummy, which there's been a lot of Yummy players. That's not changing, all right? But unfortunately, not every Yummy player is going to be able to go X1. There will be X2s and X3s. And the Vanquishal players that were playing, I've been noticing they've been a lot more in the X2, X3 department. You'll still have a couple coming through, but the expected numbers of these two decks clashing, Yummy's up, Vanquishal's pushing down. So with all of that being said, your meta is, it's kind of restructuring itself around the fact that Dragon Tail has been found out to actually be a functioning rogue deck, which is really cool, man. If you were able to get a Dragon Tail core for very cheap, it would have been about a week or two ago, you absolutely won. That's a really cool thing. Also, you can still get a Yummy core, minus Perulias. I think looking at Yummy data I think I was seeing $450 was the price point on these decks. Now, obviously, that includes Dominus Purges. It's also going to be including some pretty other expensive cards. But I will also say, if you're looking at picking up something like Dragon Tail right now, that deck, what are your most expensive cards in the deck? Your trap lineup is 2 cards. You're not really going to be batting any major eyes at that. In terms of, I guess, the other little toolbox options that you've got going on, Draco Tail is on the high end, a $430 deck. Now, in terms of, and that's also playing a Fiendsmith package in the deck. And this deck also is playing Perulias. If you gut out the Perulias, that takes out $240 from the deck, which knocks you down to about a $200 core. And that still leaves you in with other things. Obviously, I think that the Shaddoll package feels a little bit better, depending on, you know, what sort of extra tools that you really want to have. But I think that's actually kind of cool, man. If you've got that many, you know, if you've got that much of a value shift. Also, Winda's an incredibly stupid card. I don't think anybody's going to deny that fact. I have another list pulled up here. It's at $520, but your big things in here are, guess what, a Canine package. All right, well, if you got out the Canine package, you know, and just play with Shaddoll stuff, and there's also Perulias in this list. Once again, the core components to be playing Draco. Now, I understand why people are looking at this deck, because it's so cheap in comparison to the other things. What is it? Okay, so let's do the math. 520 minus 120 puts you at 400, minus 240. You're telling me that's $160 for not playing Perulias, still having Fuas in the deck, and I could implement a Shaddoll package into the deck. I mean, and you're also just going to need King of the Swamps, which, by the way, are incredibly cheap cards. Being able to make Blue Eyes Tyrant, or the Blue Eyes Dragon, to be able to attack over everything, to reset your trap card. Being able to have the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon to be able to snap caster, change things, is so very cheap. Yeah, I think we have another challenger in today's meta that you can very easily pick up. Oh, this is why we were talking about Yummy. Vanquishal Canine is such an expensive deck at this point in time for no real reason. And that's a crazy, you know, the more I think about why we were wrong, it's because we thought everybody was going to look at Vanquishal Canine and they were going to want to play it. Now that, you know, the OCG's passed over this meta and the TCG's been innovating, you know, Yummy's still good, but Vanquishal Canine just, it sucks. It's... Trust me, I play the deck. I blame Dr. Madlove for all of this. Shout out to Dr. Madlove. If you've played Vanquishal Canine, you'll understand everything I'm about to say. That card is the best worst card that the deck has. I want to cut it down to 2 so bad for optimization purposes because it just feels so bad. And, you know, if you open it up, sure, it's good to extend it. But when you're opening 2 to 3 of this card, it feels so bad. In terms of this weekend's YCS, I think Dragon Tail is going to be an underdog for the format. To the people that, you know, are watching this and, you know, going, Mr. MCole40 raps or yaps a lot. That's fine. I just wanted to tell you guys, I think Draco Tail is going to be a good deck. I would not be surprised. One other last keynote here. Justice Hunter's current pricing. We've not had a YCS up to this point. I would not be surprised to see after the YCS if suddenly something in Justice Hunters goes down a different crazy pathway in terms of pricing. It would not surprise me. I just want to warn you now that if you're planning on, you know, having something, you might see an explosion somewhere in something. It could be Draco Tail, it could be Yummy. I don't know. Both those cores are really cheap. We're also on the precipice of the ban list here, so anything is possible. That's the worst part about this game. You know, we're right today, wrong tomorrow. Something crazy, batshit crazy happens, could lead to something bad. But yeah, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and goodbye. Have a beautiful time. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.